So hi, Welcome to Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Sierra.
Jamie.
Ryan.
And Santino, and we're with Sales Ahead.
we have some questions to say about the upcoming album, Infinite Void. So congrats on that, by the way. How are you guys feeling about the response, the announcement so far?
It's been crazy. It's really wild to finally be able to talk about it publicly.
Yeah. I was thinking, we were talking about how it's been a minute since we've last caught up. I was thinking to him, like, I can't believe 4 years later we're finally catching up about an album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really been 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. First interview was May 2020. So we're catching up. Finally, there's a record here. It's awesome. It's great. It's the best stuff you guys have ever done.
Thank you so much.
Easily, hands down.
Yes.
Thank you
It's
so
incredible.
That means a lot coming from y'all.
Thank you. I was wondering what y'all were gonna say because I mean we've known each other since 2020, and like you said, like May 2020, we were working on the album then. It's been in the works for a long time, so it's a really cool full circle moment to finally be talking about it now with y'all. So yeah,
absolutely. Hell yeah. You mentioned, you've been working on it since 2020. Those singles, Murder Mountain and the other ones, the names are slipping my mind. Were those songs that were supposed to be on the record that it was like, fuck, it's taking so long, we're just going to put them out? Like, when did those come into the picture, and when did the creation of the record start?
So I'll lead, and then y'all are welcome to chime in. So technically, creation of the record started 2019, and there are 2 songs on the record, at least 1, possibly 2, that are from 2019. But honestly, we saw maybe Murder Mountain being on the record, but the rest were definitely intended to be singles, especially Acid Redux. That was especially we're just dropping this to hold people over because surely we're going to drop the record later this year, right? And then life happened. So I think it all worked out for the better. We didn't have to cut as much as we feared. So that was good.
That's good. Hell yeah. Well, now we just got to hope it charts on Billboard and all will be good.
With Sales Ahead, Billboard charting there, 23 Apple.
We'll see what happens with that.
I respect that. I respect the bit. And I respect the TikTok grind. You've been all over the Good Noise Podcast For You page. You guys have been crushing it over there, which is cool to see.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yes. So, yes and no, actually. What I should say, honestly, is that the way the album name came together was we voted on it. At first, I really wanted Calamity. It wasn't jiving with everyone. So we took time to, I made, a doc, and we put, album names in the doc that we really liked. So we did vote, and we came to the conclusion of Infinite Void. That was the one everyone liked the most. However, the meaning of the record is about everything feeling like the end of the world. It's likening anxiety to feeling like the world is ending, apocalyptic vibes. And the metaphysical void on the album cover is supposed to be a metaphor for, the unknown of your future, kind of waking up every day and being what bullshit are we getting into now?
Yeah. So,
and just kind of facing that and just being accepting that is your fate.
Gotcha. All right. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Yeah, sure. So it was a little more collaborative this time around. A lot of the songs were led by Joe. They're Joe's ideas, and we fleshed them out further. Some of us contributed some ideas. Santino wrote Catastrophe, which the demo name is Dark Tap. We both called it that for years. I threw in Swear Words and Every Day the Sky Falls. But the rest were either led by Joe or we completely collaborated on them. So for example, What If I Fall? That was the 5 of us equally, and everyone else can speak to that too.
She's putting the mic to you guys.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a collaborative effort. I had never had a part of writing a song for With Sales Ahead since I joined the band until this record. Fall and sorry, What If I Fall? We call it Fall.
It's okay.
And then Picture Perfect Pixels. Joe and I had written like years and years and years ago. That might have been the first song written that's on the album. So it's definitely more of a definitely way more of a collaborative effort than our previous work. So again, I literally had before it was Joe just showing me a song, and then we kind of just like wrote the drums together. But the song was already done. This time, we kind of just wrote together.
Wasn't Rin you guys too? Like it was a drum riff like you came up with, or was it like you guys just wrote that together?
Yeah, Rin as well.
I still love that name. I can't get over that name.
That was
I
also
know.
a demo name that
Yeah, it's
stayed.
a demo name.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not sure what that song is still called. Like, oh yeah, it's just Rin.
Yeah.
So obviously, you guys have been playing music together for a long time, but this is the first time where the writing process has been a collaborative effort. Was there any sort of like learning curve with that, despite the fact you guys have been working together for so long?
I think it was perfectly natural, easy
That's good.
process.
I figured as much. So that's good.
Yeah, like working together, like we've been working together for years. So I mean, I would say if anything, the hardest thing was just just managing our schedules, because like we're all working like full-time jobs and stuff like that. So, and it would be nice to just like spend like a month in the studio and then like bang out the record, but that's not what was in store for us. So it was just like bit by bit, get together for a couple hours in the day, work on as much as you can, and then whenever we can meet up, then it's time to track some more.
One of my fondest memories during like 2020 to like right before 2022 maybe, or like maybe a little into 2022. Joe, Jamie, and I used to get together at my old house. We'd get drunk and we'd work on the tabs like weekly. And and that was a period of time it felt like we were working on the album like forever, but at the same time, like I look back on that now and I'm like, I'm glad we had that breathing room to really enjoy just writing.
Was there like a bulk of time where the record was the majority focus, or was it just like bit by bit throughout the years and now we're here in 2024 with it coming out?
Yeah, it was like the whole year of 2023 we were working on it. I was at Joe's house once or twice a week at that point.
And to 2022 as well. We started tracking, like we started with bass actually early 2022.
Yep.
That was when we were just like fuck, we got to get something out to hold people over.
Yeah. So by the time the record's out, my bass parts will have been 2 years old.
Goddamn.
Yeah. So 2022 and 2023, pretty much we were gonna aim to release the record like late, like in the fall of this past year, but life stuff happened and we were still tracking well into May 2022, but that was like we needed to do like all the production stuff. Like there were just things that needed to go on the record that we couldn't just like eliminate for time. Like we were very passionate about getting those production elements on there. So it just took us a little longer, but it's like that didn't even. It's like no time even passed now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Fall 2023 and spring 2024. It's like it might be 6 months apart, but it's only one season when you talk about the music industry.
Yeah, for real.
That is true.
Yeah. So you didn't miss it. You really didn't miss the deadline that you guys set for yourself by much.
Yeah.
You got the holidays to work on it. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you have it.
So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
Do you guys remember?
Fall was stretched out very far. I remember we wrote it in the practice space, and then we didn't finish it until like months and months and months later.
Yeah.
So maybe it was fall, or in terms of longest, like most time apart between like starting the song and completing it, I'd say, because we started jamming it in 2019. No, 2020.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, 2020. Then we didn't finish it until like a little before we started.
It just stayed as like a little jam video in like our Google Drive, for like the longest time, and like we just kept bringing it up. It's like, oh, we gotta go back to that. Like, gotta finish that song. Gotta finish that song. It's cool. And then yeah, finally, like when we decided to get together like at Sierra's for those like little like writing sessions, like arranging sessions and stuff, then that's when we finally started to like, okay, let's actually like write it out now instead of like just having like the video for reference.
All right.
Yeah.
And
And then
favorites.
Favorites. Oh,
Yes.
this question's so hard because my favorite changes all the time. But
What day you catch us on, pretty much.
pretty much.
Pretty
But
much,
like
yeah.
Oblivion is a consistent favorite for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that also. It's just dark, proggy, fun.
I can't wait to play it live. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Me neither. I gotta start studying that one again.
You gotta relearn
The
it.
dates are coming soon. I'm seeing Sierra posting in the DIY tour posting group, trying to
Okay.
lock dates in. They're coming.
They're coming up quick.
Oblivion's very. I'm torn always between Oblivion, Rin, and Fall. I think Rin's my favorite because it sort of showcases like the new with Sails Ahead sound the best. I feel like
Mhm.
Oblivion's a better song in terms of like how it's proggy and more technical, but Rin just as a whole is like our new sound wrapped into a song.
Yep.
Jamie, favorite?
Yeah, my favorite was Rin for like the past like maybe 8 months and some change or something like that. But lately it's been Peach Tea for me. That's been my favorite.
I always forget about that one. Like unjustifiably keep forgetting about it, but it really is one that everybody's gonna love that one too.
It's a nice intermission, I feel like, in
Yeah.
between like
It's not
Shred
that
Shred
one.
Shred and then cute like Chan song and then
Very-
Shred 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 finale.
Yeah.
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 Very digestible. Definitely the one song that doesn't sound like any other one on the album.
Yeah.
I like this one because there's no yelling or screaming on it. Our parents.
I can understand
Yeah.
what she's saying.
Yeah, we definitely had that in mind when we were working on that song.
Yeah. You guys were writing that one for the parents in the TikTok
Oh,
comments.
yeah.
This one is for the boomers.
This one is for the iPad baby parents out there.
Not iPad baby.
Yeah.
That's great. So for this question, I want you guys to pick your favorite lyric off the album and tell us the meaning behind it. If you
Oh
don't
my
know the
God.
lyrics, you can tell us an instrumental part of the instrument that you play.
Can I go last? I don't know my own lyrics verbatim, but I'm grabbing them right now.
I know Santino's answer.
Okay, I think you do. I'll keep it real with you. If you can tell me what it is, I'll tell you if you're right.
It's the end of what's the song called? Lemon Grab. It's the end of Lemon Grab.
Okay, well, let's see. That's one of my favorite sections of the album, but not my favorite lyrical moment. It's definitely the chorus to Oblivion is my favorite lyrical moment. I'll say it's one of my top 5 favorite Sierra moments of all time.
Thank you.
I absolutely love how you laid that down, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. It's the chorus to Oblivion.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
My favorite is actually the end of Lemon Grab. Yeah, my soul
makes
bereft
me
of
cry
hope,
every
fears
time.
of fate brings. Like that lyric in particular, like that got me through like quite a few stressful days, like at work, like my previous job that I worked through. So yeah, that
Nice.
always means a lot to me.
Really?
Yeah. And also, you know, the vocal delivery is just, you know, astounding on there too. So
Yeah, it's one of my favorite moments is that section.
Ryan.
I have to think about it. I'm not sure.
Fine, I'll go then. So, my favorite and what I'm really proud of is the lyrics in Catastrophe. That whole letter is like a lot of the lyrics on this record. I really tried to challenge myself and my writing style. Like the way I like write songs, just like the prose, like the way I rhyme things, everything. So Catastrophe is like a letter to my anxiety, addressing it as if it was a person. So it's like the whole theme of the song is like, you fucked my shit up, but I'm just gonna have to ride with this. And the last verse goes, plant some new seeds for the garden bed, huff some chlorophyll and start again. Can't shake it, so I let it in. Epinephrine, I've cocked it, I'm loaded. And epinephrine is EpiPen. I'm allergic to like 90 fucking things, and I thought it'd be funny to squeeze in an EpiPen reference. But epinephrine is also adrenaline. That's the adrenaline chemical. So it's like you get that rush of adrenaline when you like feel yourself like you have like an anxious episode, or like your body's going into fight or flight. Like I liken it to that. So it's just like, all right. Yeah.
Damn,
All right. Hell yeah.
that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeehaw. I think they're not my favorite lyrics on the album per se, but the chorus of swear words is like stuck in my head probably on a daily basis.
I hear that.
So I'm gonna go with that just because like literally that chorus, not the instrumentals, but what Sierra sings is stuck in my head like every single day.
Sick.
Hell yeah. All right.
So how did the track list for this album come about? Did you guys expect the opener to be the opener, closer to be the closer? Did you kind of shuffle it around, see what fits? What was that process like?
Not gonna lie, I kind of spearheaded that. And the
Definitely.
reason being is because I tend to, for our records, write like an overture type track. I'm gonna stop doing that because like I think it just allows more flexibility in the way things are structured. But like I wrote the title, the beginning track, the opening track, Every Day the Sky Falls, and I wanted to stagger it in a way that it was like in the beginning, What If I Fall was kind of like the middle or like the start of the second act, and then Is This Really It was the ending, because the three of them are kind of like connected like lyrically. So that was intentional. The rest of it was just kind of like trying to find a flow. I mean, 13 songs. So like you don't want to bore people in the beginning, but you really want to keep them engaged through the end. But then we also have like Lemon Grab and Peach Tea and Picture Perfect Pixels, which are just like a little like more melodic and a little more chilled out. So I was like, okay, we scoot those in the middle, and then everything else kind of goes around it. And everyone seemed to be on board with it, so, and it worked, so we kept it that way, the way it is.
Hell yeah. So where was your headspace at with guys while you guys were writing this record?
Oh my god. All over the place.
Joe, I know you just joined, but do you want to go first?
Just throw them right for the
Throw 'em in the
fire.
fire,
Go, go.
Yeah. Well, the album is like all of the songs that we wrote from like 2018 to 2022, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. So the headspace was all over the place because it was just like over the course of such a long time. But I think that kind of helped us in keeping it fresh and making sure that no two songs really sounded too similar. So it was beneficial in that sense.
Everybody agree with that?
Oh yeah, yeah, very concise.
All right.
And
Hell yeah.
during the recording of the album, though, we'll get a little bit more personal here. Every single one of us, all five of us, were going through some kind of personal matter at any given time.
Mm.
So that we got to hang out with each other a lot during the recording process. It made it like that much better for us to be there for each other. And I think you can really hear that on a lot of these songs too, because going through personal things together.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we like, because this album has like taken as long as it has, we've gone through so much life, and like it's so crazy. Like there's I don't know, like for me personally, like all I wanted was like just like I just want to get this done. I just want to get this done. But like I mentioned earlier, when like, you know, Jamie and I used to get together for those writing sessions, like there were some moments I wish could have lasted forever. Tracking vocals, like that was grueling. Poor Joe. Like some sessions upwards of 64 takes, because like
Fuck.
because like I wanted to get things done. I also wanted it to be perfect, and like all these things, like I stopped, like there were some ebbs and flows of the process where like I was like enjoying it, but I also was like like putting too much pressure on myself, I would say, and making things harder for myself. Yeah, it felt like the time period that would never end, and it's just like so wild to be. Oh yeah, and then also like we all, like Santino said, like on top of having your full-time jobs, we also were going through personal stuff. So like some of us like would need to take mental health days, or like just be like, don't have it in me, can't do it, or like shit would come up. And that's also something that prolonged it, but it was like we had to put ourselves first, because can't finish the album if you are incredibly depressed.
Yeah.
So
I moved.
Yeah.
Damn.
I moved after bass tracking. Bass was tracked in my old house,
Yep.
and then I moved, and the rest of the album was tracked in my current house. So, yeah, definitely some huge life changes during the process of recording.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Interested to know, like, you know, since this album was written over such a long period of time, do you guys still resonate with the things that you're talking about on tracks that were written 2018, 2019, like, or is it just kind of like those songs are so good we just have to keep them?
Absolutely. No, they still
Yeah.
resonate for sure. Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have held on to them for this long if we didn't feel that they had a purpose and a meaning that we wanted to share with people.
Yeah, I think that for me, as the resident anxiety haver, I mean all of us have it, but like I'm the one who has the fucking pen, so it's just shook out the way. I wrote these songs. I'm like, damn, you have anxiety, and like now, like I had to go back to therapy and like learn better tools for dealing with it, and I have such a weird meta understanding of my mental health now, more than I ever did before, and like it's crazy. Here, I'll give y'all an interesting tidbit. So Rin and Swear Words are written about the same person. I wrote both those songs while I was with that person, and if you listen back to back, like Rin is not a happy song, and then Swear Words is like, oh, but like also you're awesome. So it is really trippy to now listen to those songs back to back after the enormous life change I endured last year during the recording process. And it's pretty surreal, but like it's also like also kind of cool to reflect on and like mark that as like a period in my life that I went through, or like a thing I went through and overcame.
Absolutely.
So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they play it in the car with friends, dark with headphones on? Should they work out to it? What do you guys personally recommend?
All those, every single one.
All of the above.
Every
Yeah.
one.
It's a great album to work out to, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the second half of the album is like awesome on like the Smith machine. Like I'm hitting like back squats. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I will say though, definitely like at least the first time through, please listen from front to back.
All the way through.
We purposely structured it that way. There are interludes, everything, and then after that you can just throw it on shuffle and say fuck y'all. But yeah, definitely at least one time all the way through, uninterrupted if you can. I'm a big fan of listening to things in the car, but headphones or earbuds also cool.
I would lean towards the headphone way. I'm a headphones person.
Yeah, their headphones are like really nice speakers, whatever you can get access to, basically.
All right. I wanted to ask this when we were talking about the track list. You know, these songs blend into each other. It's obvious. I didn't listen to it the way you said, Sierra, with the one straight MP3 file, because I like to see the song title. I like to see the song title so that I at least know what I'm listening to.
I did,
but
Sierra. It's okay.
I did pick up on it a little bit, albeit I didn't get the full experience.
That's okay.
Those I would assume came after the fact. Once it was track listed, then the interludes were put in place, and the blending of the songs was post tracklist creation.
Yeah. Like I had certain ideas for like certain interludes we could do, and like certain songs like one into the other, like especially with like fall having like the wind and stuff and like the storm noises. But yeah, we had to just like lock in the track listing first, I'd say,
Makes
and
sense.
then it all came later.
So this question should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. All 5 of you have to do it. That is, what, 15 words
15.
each? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 15
I
words
had
total?
3. Yeah.
3 words each.
I'll say it's dark, it's shreddy, it's proggy.
Damn.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. Emotional, heartfelt, frick. You took shreddy, right?
Yeah, I got that
So
one.
like, oh my god, that is like the number 1 word I've been using for us.
No shreddy.
I can't. I'm stuck on a third one.
Riffy.
Riffy.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you, Shane. Okay, great.
Yep.
Yeah.
So since we're all gonna describe different aspects of the album, I'm gonna go out and say that not it's what everyone else is saying too, but there's also calculated, technical, and methodical. Is that the same thing as the other two?
Calculated.
It still
and
counts.
Yeah,
like
we'll,
it
we'll
still
take it.
counts.
Calculated
Yeah,
and
it's-
methodical could have like different
Exactly.
meanings.
It's like they're like brother words,
Yeah.
but it's not like the same thing, you know?
Cool.
This,
All
this is a
Fuck with it.
podcast, not English class. You answered the question. right?
We're not gonna call you out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say heavy, meaningful, and unique.
All right. Jamie,
All
the
right,
dreaded
so I would-
last.
yeah. Better not ruin this. I would say, colorful, varied, and notey. I'm cheating.
Ooh.
All right, we'll take it.
All right, perfect. So, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want your listeners to have while going through this record?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Just
Tito's like, yes.
Uh,
what emotion
I
would
want
you like
them
them to
to
have?
feel.
Yes.
Next
uh, I think. I guess I'll go first. Like, I think it's more of like, I imagine they would come in feeling one way and hopefully end feeling another. Like, you start the record and like maybe you might feel like an anxiousness or an easiness, and by the end of the record you feel like absolutely ready to conquer whatever like comes your way, like confident, like just like it's like I don't, another word for bittersweet. I'm really about to get out thesaurus.com right now. Like just like leaving feeling like hopeful
Yeah.
and like cautiously optimistic.
Yeah,
Okay.
fucking locked in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
cautiously optimistic. That's a great one. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want people to feel like they can relate to the lyrics and the music too. People knowing like, okay, I'm not the only one going through this scenario and this scenario, and also like, okay, I can write songs too, and I can play guitar like this too. So
Mhm.
hopefully it inspires people and motivates them and sees that they can relate.
Yeah. I would also hope that people, when they listen to the record, that they feel surprised, in a pleasant way. That they're, maybe some people check it out and then be like, oh, okay, I didn't know this band, like did stuff like that or stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of what I would like.
Hell yeah.
Same.
So can you guys talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
Oh yeah, the whole thing was super challenging for me as guitarist slash engineer. The hardest part was tracking my own guitar parts because I don't know, it's a lot of strain on your hands going from keyboard and mouse very quickly back to the guitar, back and forth, having to hit all of the shortcuts to do the edits as I go. My hands will never be the same after that process. So, yeah.
I have to
not-
give all the credit for that. And, like,
Yeah.
you-
Shout out Joe for all the hard work
Yeah.
that they put in.
Months and months
Months
and
and
months
months.
of work.
Yeah.
Months. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Um vocal tracking, vocal tracking, and vocal tracking. Like I mentioned earlier, like some days, many days where I just was not hitting it. Like a difficult thing as a vocalist, maybe if you are also like me and are a perfectionist, like sometimes you are just not hitting things the way you envisioned in your head, which is how you can spend hours on a single line. Um, I think that like I went in like hoping I could hit certain things a certain way, and even if I did, like I like hit a certain riff, like I still did it. But I'm super picky, and I'm like, but I still didn't like open my mouth, and it doesn't sound like bright enough. Like I pick apart at my performance very often, but like in the same breath I still did a lot of cool stuff on the record that like I'm really proud of. Like the lows on Rin are me, and I listen back and I'm like, that's me. But the hell, and certain like runs that I hit to like throughout the different tracks, like definitely proud moments for me, and they can only get better from here. The
Hell
more
yeah.
I'm
practice.
right.
Hell yeah.
I would say one of the more difficult things for me and now having to learn the album is that Joe and I recorded the drums and we did it programmed. So I didn't actually play anything on the record. I had played in my head like, okay, I would play this at this part, but then I had to go sit down and of course like we're gonna play these songs live. So Oblivion was one where I just had to practice that song for hours and hours and hours to really get it down. So it's our songs normally aren't super difficult on drums like they are on these. Joe, Jamie, and Santino just play crazy shit on guitar, and it's not as difficult for me. But Oblivion is a song that took a while for me to really nail.
I would never know. You play it really, really well.
Yeah, that's how we rated it. Practice worked really well.
It's because he was
'Cause he was like,
practicing
"Yeah, I
all by himself.
Had to practice it, yeah.
I his practices that he does.
It shows.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the hardest thing for me about tracking was it was split probably between like doing like the bass tracking for Oblivion, because like the part in the middle where it gets like right before it gets like all like nuts kind of mathcore sounding, I just wrote this like really fast bass line that like I couldn't even like play, so I had to like practice the crap out of that for like 2 weeks or something straight in order to get that down. And even then I had to like abbreviate it to something like a little bit simpler to like actually get it like tracked on the record. And then the hardest thing after that was like doing all the string tracking for Skyfall, like the first track, because I had to I came up with the arrangement and stuff based on a little violin idea that Sierra had, and so that was like really challenging but rewarding to do.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love that part on the record. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
So for this last question, boom, the entirety of With Sails Ahead is dropped into a horror movie. Who is dying first and who is surviving to the end?
Oh, dude, come on.
Hands down.
No!
Me first. I like the thing that bothers me with horror movies is like, why are you there in the first place? Go leave. And then
Get in
but
a
then the
car.
movie ends, but then it's over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, I just wouldn't be in a position in the first place. However, because I'm a very panicky person, I'd probably be the first to like trip and like fall on a bed of spikes and die or
Oh
something.
my god. So not even like by the fucking killer. You're just accidentally.
Oh yeah, they
dying.
probably got like booby traps out, and I'm just the first one to fall.
They were
in
like
each
they were
shit.
like getting ready, and then it's like, oh wait, what?
I forgot about this one. That's so funny. Okay, great.
The opening credits haven't even rolled yet, and she's dead.
I'm gonna declare myself the horror game expert out of everyone in the band, I think. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna vote myself as the lone survivor at the very end. I'm
No,
sorry,
I
guys.
disagree with you. I'm the horror movie guy. I've seen all the classics. I'm not gonna let a little doll chase me or a guy walking 1 mile an hour to catch up to me. I'm surviving the whole movie.
Okay, so Sans the horror movie expert. I'm the horror game expert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I would
You
be the
guys
one
can, like,
that-
fight each other.
I would be in the movie for like 10 minutes because I would just run. You would see me in the
That's what
beginning,
I'm saying.
So
and then as
it would
soon I would
start
just
with-
run, and then I wouldn't be in the movie anymore because I would just be running.
So
from
we'd
the
start with
crowd.
5 people, and within the first 10 minutes of the movie, we'd be down to 3 because Sierra would die before the opening credits rolled, and you would just run away within 10 minutes.
I'm just gone.
Jamie, there,
I would
there you
like
are.
to
You die in the
run.
middle.
Yeah.
If I get the option
I was
to
gonna
run, I'm
say
gonna
in the
do
middle
it.
anyway, but yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Ryan's the Forrest Gump of our band.
Going.
So like one time, me and my friends like snuck into a state park like overnight. We thought we heard cops coming, so I ran, but I ran into barbed wire. So so that's exactly
Remember
what
that
would
time-
happen to me in the movie. I have permanent scars on my thighs. It's
We
great.
cut up for a long time during that.
Do you guys remember that? That was like when
Yeah.
we first met. Yeah,
That
that
was-
was like in
2016
yeah.
or
Damn.
17. One of those.
Imagine hydrogen peroxide all over your entire thigh.
Pain.
Oh my god.
I'm in pain just thinking about it.
Damn.
I have crazy injuries. I could go on forever.
So, as Gloria said, that's all the questions you have to say. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Yeah. Please, if you are vaguely interested in our band, you dig our band, check us out. Please pre-save Infinite Void. Please pre-order Infinite Void if you're financially able. A Billboard charting band with sales.
Yeah.
There's CDs and vinyl on our site. You can go pre-order them. We'll be going on tour this May, and hopefully dozens of other shows to follow throughout the year. Anybody else got anything?
No, same thing. I agree. All that.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for now. This guys has been with Sales Ahead, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.